Hi, and welcome to Virtuous Goo, where barbecue and grilling's made tasty. So today we're going to be making some beef jerky out of flank steak. In my previous video, we marinated the flank steak in the same fashion as this, but basically reverse seared it and then cooked it and turned it into a really good steak. So you can watch that video as well. I'll have that link available too. But for this one, we're doing jerky as well. And technically, I'm actually putting them in the same container where I've got a whole flank steak, and I'm going to cut this into the jerky portions. But this is one of our favorite cuts of meat for jerky, and one of our favorite recipes. So if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate the support. So these are basic, simple ingredients. Because I'm doing 2 flank steaks plus the ones to be cut up as jerky, I've doubled the recipe as far as what we typically use. These containers are a cup each, basically, give or take. So you've got water, soy sauce, ketchup, olive oil, Worcestershire. Again, Worcestershire is one of those things that's kind of a taste and preference. It's one of our family favorites, so we do quite a bit. Some folks will use like half of what the other ingredients are, so you may use a half a cup, third a cup. That's taste and preference, but we really like it. So, and then freshly minced garlic, that's 8 to 10 cloves, and then a couple of green onions diced up. So that's our main ingredients for the marinade, and this jerky is going to be off the top. So with that, I'll get to mixing the ingredients, and then once we do that, we'll show you how we're going to cut the flank steak with the grain versus against the grain. For the steaks, after it's uncooked, we actually cut it the other way, so you'll kind of get the feel for both of those. But we'll show that here in a second. So I'm going to get to mixing, and then we'll get to cutting, and then we'll get to talking about the rest of the process we're going to do. Enjoy. Alright, so we've got our marinade made, and it's up to you for how you want to marinate this, as far as if you want to use a bag or if you want to use a container. I'm going to be using a disposable container because like I said, I'm doing 2 different variations with the 2 flank steaks that came with this. But one thing to mention is when you're doing jerky especially, you'll see there's some extra fat on this, and if there's any silver skin or anything like that, you want to remove that either while you're cutting through it or while, ahead of time, whatever you want to do, because that stuff just doesn't work very good once you smoked it and, when you're doing the jerky side of it. So, and then as you can see on this, the grain is running this direction, basically across this meat, and so I'm going to cut it with the grain because I want it to be kind of that jerky pull and kind of chew. And so that's how we'll cut it, and you'll easily see the grains on it. And then we'll just throw it in the marinade, and we'll be good to go. So with that, I'm going to start cutting this up, and then we'll start putting it in and get it marinated. And I like to marinate it overnight minimum. You can do 2 or 3 days if you want to, but overnight's good enough. And then we'll take it out, throw it on the smoker, and probably be anywhere between 3.5, 4, or 5 hours. We're just going to watch it to get it to how we want it, and then we'll take it off and give it a try once we get there. All right. And the cuts I'm looking for, I like it kind of on about a 1/4 of an inch type size, so something along those lines. And we'll just do that all the way through this, and we'll have our jerky. Alright, so I've got my marinade in the disposable container, and like I said, I've got a flank steak, the whole one, that's doing a different process with, which you can look at the other video. But now I'm going to take all the jerky that we made, or the flank steak that we cut into jerky pieces, and I'm going to just put it in here and kind of work it in, get it completely, marinated up, and then I'm going to throw it in the refrigerator at least overnight. You could do it more, but overnight's probably good with jerky because there's a lot of meat exposed. So I wouldn't do it less, but you could do it more, but I would stick to the overnight. So we'll put this in, get it in the fridge, put some foil over it, and then we'll smoke it tomorrow. And like I was mentioning, you could use a bag for the jerky or the flank steak if you want. This is just easier because I'm doing 2 of them. And kind of the way I'm going about it, the meat fits in here perfect and I don't have to worry about it. But if you want to use less ingredients, or you're using only 1 piece of meat or something like that, you can use a bag, half ingredients, whatever you want to do. But this will be good. Okay, so we're marinated overnight. We're all ready to go. We're just gonna throw the jerky right on there, and I got the grill set to smoke at 180. That's the temp I like because it keeps it nice and even and slow as you go, and get some good smoke on there. So we'll just put these on, and I'm gonna check them after probably 3 hours. I'm expecting it 3 to 3.5 to 4, maybe 5. We're just going towards a type of texture that we want, and so I'll just kind of do it as we go. And it's going to be a hot day today, so it may cook a little hot. I'll probably range between 180 to 200 or so, given how once the sun gets up and things like that, it starts hitting the smoker. So anyways, I'll get these on. Alright, so we're 3 hours into our smoke, so we're going to take a look. I don't expect them to be ready yet, but I should get some pretty decent color on them by now. They should eventually be pretty dark, almost black by the time we get done smoking them to get them cooked where we want them to. But we'll take a look, see what we got. I'll add maybe some close-ups and stuff that you'll be able to see so you can get an idea. I did crack it open after 2 hours and took some video and photos just to kind of show that as well, so you can get an idea of what that looked like at that stage. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, those are looking just really good. So they're starting to get that nice color to them, good smoke on them, starting to dry out a bit. And one thing I forgot to mention is, this is obviously one way to do it with this type of marinade, but I'll put a link up here so you can take a look at. I do a chili lime jerky too with the same cut of meat, and it's really good. Kids just scarboo that. Once we get done with this, once it's completely smoked, we'll actually put it in bags so that it keeps the moisture right away. That's how we like it. If you don't like that, you can set it aside and it'll be a little bit more dry. That's fine too. But we're well on our way. I think this looks to me like probably another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours more, probably at the most. It's been staying right around, it's been going between 180 and 200 for the whole time, and it's gotten plenty hot today, so it's been closer to 200 just in general, so that's fine. But we're looking good. Okay, so we're right just after 4 hours, and we'll take a look, see what we've got. I'm thinking it's going to be done because I've been running a little hot today with it being so hot out, so we'll see, make sure, we'll feel a few and make sure the texture's right, that they look right. And then they are, we'll bag them up, let them cool in the bag, and then we'll do a taste test. Oh boy, that looks delicious. So, and I didn't show it, I'll probably put it in the video somewhere, but I did flip them at the 3 hour mark just to kind of put on both sides. But this is looking just awesome. So, do a little peek here, but yeah. Oh man, that's so good. So I'm going to get these into the plastic bag, and then we will let them cool down more to get them the way we want them. But man, this is really good, delicious. Okay, so we marinated this overnight in the same way that we did our flank steak. Of course, this is a flank steak, and then put it on and smoked it for basically 4 hours. That was about when these were right, and it was about set it at 180, but it was mostly around 190, 195, probably average, over 200 every now and then. So just kind of the way it went today, no big deal. And as soon as we took it off, we bagged it to maintain the moisture, and that works perfect for cooling it down. And we're gonna give it a test drive here. So if you like this type of content,
please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell
so you don't miss any updates. All right, so you want to give this a try?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how we did here. Oh boy, look at that nice pull. What do you think?
This is so good.
We recommend that? Mm-hmm. So this is great. The texture's perfect. We like kind of a tender chew, if you will, and not so dry. Now, if you like it drier, you can both cook it longer or set out longer so it dries more, but this is just perfect for us. We like that tender pull chew. So Tell you what, it was pretty good stuff. Want some more? That's good. I had a good flank steak for dinner.
Yeah.